Good evening. So I'm gonna start this video off with saying I'm at my sister's house. She has 3 very large dogs that I am taking care of. This one right here is the puppy, but so she's a little crazy, but all the dogs are out playing right now, so I don't know how, much they're gonna interrupt. But that's what that noise is, the panting and all that stuff. And I'm not 100% sure where I'm gonna go with this video. I just had a few thoughts on my brain that I wanted to get out, and I figured, why not make a YouTube video about it? So my thoughts are, I want to start with a little bit of background on myself. I was very fortunate enough to be raised in a really good city, Maitland, Florida, like Maitland Winter Park area, and with parents who understood the importance of manners. I went to cotillion. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I was not a fan of it while I was going through it, but I'm very thankful that I did now, looking back. I was raised where I don't even know how many etiquette classes I had to go to. Very fancy, schmancy etiquette classes, where you learn what side of the fork, what side of the plate that the fork goes on, and the spoon and the cup and all of that kind of stuff. And although it kind of seemed very minuscule at the moment, I now understand the importance of it. And there is so much more to manners than just a please and thank you. And there's so much more than just knowing how to set a table properly. There's so much more to that. And for example, understanding the importance of an RSVP. Understanding the importance that if someone takes time out of their day to invite you to something, you either, reply politely that you are unable to make it for whatever reason, or you just go and you show up. So part of this message is just, getting across the importance of manners and how I really believe it's a lost art right now. I really, really believe that kids and adults need to grow up with more than just knowing how to say please and thank you. Although at the end of the day, knowing what side to set your fork down on, or knowing to eat with your elbows off the table is not gonna make you a bad person. It doesn't decide, what kind of person you are. Like, that's not it at all. But there is importance in valuing how you represent yourself, how you come across, and how you raise your children. And I'm not sure if I will put my children through cotillion or etiquette classes or whatnot, but I do understand now how important they are, and I'm very grateful that my parents spent a lot of money and time not only putting me through these things but also practicing what they preached. My mom has been through a lot, but she always had manners when she was out in public, and a while ago, carried herself the way she should, and same with my dad. And there's things that go even further, like what's appropriate to talk about at the dinner table and what's not appropriate. And it's not just the difference between like not talking about a fart at the table or like something like that. It goes way more in depth than that. And how to carry on a conversation. That's a lost art. It has a lot to do with social media and whatnot, but I don't believe that technology is bad. I just believe that if you know what to look out for and what to prevent from happening, that it's a great thing. And so where I'm going with this, I don't know if I'm going to make more videos about this. I mean, I would like to, I just don't know how much interest would be in these subjects. So let me know below in the comments if this is something that you would like for me to elaborate more on, or maybe, you know, make individual videos about. But I'm going to talk about today about parties, RSVPs, and that sort of thing. Hi, baby. I see you. So where I'm going with this is, one, when someone goes out of their way to, and this really isn't a topic that like has happened to me, you know, recently or anything like that. It's just something I think about often. If someone has gone out of their way to invite you to something, whether it's as simple as a toddler's birthday party or as big as their wedding, whatever it may be, however simple it may be, that person has gone out of their way to think about you and wanting you to be there to celebrate with them. And that is not something to take lightly. That's not something to just brush off. And I don't feel like it. For example, I work every Saturday. Getting a phone call. I work every Saturday, and so because I only work one day a week, I cannot justify taking off my one day a week to go to some type of event, especially because I do hair. So my clients book out months in advance. I can't just, you know, rebook because I am booked out months in advance, and I have, if I, let's say, can't make it one day, I have nowhere to move them to. So in my case, Saturdays are usually a no-go for me. If I do ever take off of a Saturday, I save and reserve those for family vacations, important things like my sister's wedding, or like that kind of thing, obviously. But further than that, I cannot justify taking off the one day I work. I also love what I do, and so I take priority in that. But as far as it being an event that happens on a Sunday, well, I go to church, and that's usually the day that my family has that we spend together, as well as the day that we have things to get done and whatnot around the house or whatever. But that does not justify not going somewhere. And if it's like a Saturday evening, I've been on my feet all day long, and doing hair is kind of different than just having a busy day. You stand in one position for a very, very long time, hours and hours upon end. And although maybe running a marathon may be painful, standing in one place is very, very painful on my back, on my knees, all the stuff. So although I am exhausted after a Saturday, if someone invites me to something Saturday evening, I will try my best to go, because that person has gone out of their way and has wanted me to help celebrate something with them. And I take that seriously. Not only that, but RSVPing is kind of been a lost art. I believe that people just, you know, to me, RSVPing to a party, if you don't do that, that is disrespectful. That is rude, because that person, one, wanted you to be there, and you could just care less to even respond. Two, they are gonna have to plan for food for you to be there, because they're not sure if you're gonna be there or not. Or three, they're gonna have to go out of their way to contact you again to see if you're gonna come. Or, you know, four, you are just too irresponsible to respond. A lot of the times events are on Facebook, you know, they do those little Facebook invites. And those literally is a click of a button. Like, it's that simple. If it's something, you know, fancier, like a wedding with an invitation, you have to go and send it in the mail, but they usually send a stamp with it. So it's as simple as can be. And to me, for me, honestly, what it usually sums up to is either you are unorganized and you just don't have your stuff together if you lose it, because if you lose it and then you choose not to find another way to contact that person, that's disrespectful. Or you just could care less about their event, and that's a slap in the face to me. So where I'm going with this is I hope that you learn the value of an RSVP. There is a lot of respect as well as manners that go behind RSVPing, whether that's just a can't go or go on Facebook invite. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. Or that's sending the RSVP back in the mail. And I really challenge you guys to take that seriously and take an invite seriously, no matter what the event may be, because that person wants you there, and we need to really take it back a notch and value the relationships that are behind us, whether whether you see it or not. That person cares about you clearly, and you need to just show a little respect and care back. And make time for people. We're all busy. We all have things that we have to do, and it's a lost art to really carve out times in our days for people, because at the end of the day, that's all that we have left. Are the relationships, and obviously God and religion and whatnot, but I'm getting eaten alive now. So anyways, I hope this was valuable. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below on something that you would like to hear about. I really believe how important this stuff is, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. I'll talk to you later.